It's dark outside, but it's light in here. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, it's dark outside, but it's light in here.
Cover Bezrat Hashem, the cover of the Heilige Shabbos. We have to be flexible right now. Baruch Hashem, we have weddings, we have simchas, being misamech chasam v'kala, b'shim kol Yisrael. Amazing. Okay. So it's feel b'shim kol Yisrael for Pesach, Ubi ben Yosef Sarah Baruch Bas Yehudis, Tova Bas Peril, Yonah Bas Bas Shir Bas Bas Sanar, Ubi ben Money, and every nisham in Klal Yisrael. Be kind to us and help us not fall prey to the rational appeals of our evil inclination. It tries to influence us and prevent us from serving you properly by dressing up its promptings as mitzvot, as if trying to persuade us to do something right and proper. The truth is that this mitzvot, which dresses itself in our hidden trap, as you alone know, please Hashem have compassion on us and our poor souls, and save us from the promptings of the evil inclination. Let it have no power to deceive us with these distractions. Like we learned in Sicha Bet, we are throwing our whole burden upon you. Hashem, our God and God of our fathers, we are relying on you alone to lead us lovingly on the straight, true path at all times. In everything we do, let our every movement be kol tenua utenua, be in complete accordance with your will, and don't let us turn aside from what you want, either to the right or to the left. Bezrat Hashem, the Kavod Shabbos, and let's go weiter with Halakha L'Maisa. Halakha L'Maisa, we went a little off track. We didn't have the, our Sfarm, so we had to be flexible last night. So we have the Sfarm online, Baruch Hashem. So we spoke about where to light, but we're continuing with Seif Aleph, Seif number 1, part 2. So these are the days of Hanukkah, right? We've been going through the history a little, and the 8 nights, the miracle display, the publicized miracle. These are the days of Hanukkah. These days are called Hanukkah, a combination of the Hebrew word chanum, which means they rested, and the letter chaf and hey, which have the numerical value of 25. Because on the 25th day of Kislev, they rested from battling their enemies. By the way, Chodesh Tov Chavra, Kislev. Hanukkah is here. Hanukkah is here, 24 days until Hanukkah, 1 until Shabbos Kodesh. Been yearning for so long. Additionally, it's called Hanukkah because during these days, they inaugurated the Beis Hamikdash anew because the oppressors had defiled it. Therefore, to celebrate these events, some authorities say that it is a mitzvah to have somewhat larger meals in Hanukkah. Additionally, we celebrate these days because when the wilderness, after the exodus from Egypt, the work of the Mishkan was completed during these days. Sam said, wow. Rebs, are you there? Wow. Is that like a marathon? You got the Dunkin' Donuts in hand, Baruch Hashem. Got the suit on. Is the wedding tonight?
It's still going. I'm at the parade now, Baruch Hashem.
Oh, Baruch Hashem. The wedding was last night?
Wedding was last night. I had nowhere to put the suit. Baruch Hashem.
Amazing. Amazing. How amazing was it?
Wow. Everyone should know in the world that watches. There is a Pella in the world called Yisrael Yonah, and now there's a Pella in the world that it was before, but now it's even more called Eliana, Elana, or Eliana, Elana, I don't know her full name. Eliana something. Maybe
Wow.
Chaya or Sarah, I'm not sure which one.
Wow.
And they're a union. Baruch Hashem.
What a Pella. Soon by you, Achi. So at these meals, one should relate to his family the account of the miracles that occurred to our forefathers during these days. See the book of Yosifun. Nevertheless, the meal is not considered a mitzvah feast unless songs and praises to Hashem are recited during the meal. Interesting. We increase charitable donations during the days of Hanukkah because these days are spiritually beneficial for correcting the flaws in one's soul through giving charity, particularly charity given to support poor Torah students. So at Hashem, we should all support the kollels if we have the necessary means. Wow. Even just imagine buying a Hanukkah sefer for someone. Unbelievable. So good. So good. So Chavra, okay, chapter 1, Mishnah 13. Chapter 1, Mishnah 13. Hu haya homer. Hillel used to say, he who seeks fame will lose his name. He who does not add to his Torah knowledge detracts from it. He who does not study the Torah deserves death, and he who exploits the crown of the Torah for its own ends shall perish. So he who does not add to his Torah knowledge detracts from it. The Avot de Rabbi Natan says because he eventually forgets what he has learned before. Right, so this is just calling for the pores of Chazara. This is also a shout out to the Daf Yomi Chevra because may not know Shas, but you're seeing Shas, so there's something to it. We just have to constantly add, and adding could just be doing the same thing for years and years and years, adding understanding, adding bina, adding dat, the whole thing. So something that came to mind was chametz and matzah, gaiva and anava. Right, chametz is connected to gaiva, and matzah is connected to anava. I learned this piece with Max Berger this past Pesach. Mamash, unbelievable stuff, and it's so amazing because it's so connected. It's so relevant to this Mishnah because of because he eventually forgets what he has learned before. Truth is, kind of forget, but this Mishnah allowed the spark, the remembrance of this, and also it talks about, okay, Rabbi, I love you. Enjoy the Dunkin' Donuts. So good. He who seeks fame will lose his name. So this is very, very important, and we'll just go through the piece together because it's very kedai, and it's awesome. If my translation skills are not great, then I'm so sorry. So if you can help me out, if I lose out on a word or a meaning or something, please write in the description below because we're trying to act like YouTubers. Kitzer, the difference between, says Rav Itchemeyer B'Yam Darkecha, the difference between gaiva and anava is something, it's only a little. It's mamash that mashu. It's something so small. It's just a mashu, something so small. The kakam gaiva shi chametz mashu katan mimena kfar hofecha kol lechametz v'klipa. Right. So this something that we're talking about. Right. This chametz of the gaiva. Right. That's something. If we have a little feeling of gaiva or yeshus in this world, existence. Right, again, we're already going on the side on we're already giving ourselves over to the klipa, to the chametz, and chametz again connected to gaiva, matzah to anava. So the difference between chametz and matzah is b'mashu, in this something. Kach havdel ben hagaiva va'anava hu b'mashu. Right, and same with gaiva and anava is this mashu, is this little something. So Shafilu mashu shel regashot yeshus v'gaiva. And even this mashu of this something of, this feeling of something of yeshus and gaiva is something so small. Hu davar norah is something so big. Something so small could be so big. This little feeling of I am something. I have a name. I deserve recognition. Is something so big. We think it's so small, but it's so big. Because this mashu is that little thought, that little something, that little action is already removing us from the side of kedusha to the klipo. Right, so repellent, it rejects the k'moshes al matzah. Right, and we have to guard the matzah, right, the anava. Kol hazman, all the time. Shelo tachmitz, that it doesn't become bloated up, that doesn't become something, it doesn't become chametz. It's a riksha lo le'atzir da'at mimena, and we don't lose track of it for 1 second, for one moment. For one moment. Ki im rak yisalek adam et yadav meha basek v'lo yitatzek bo miyad tachmitz ha'isa. Right, so imagine, Chavra, it's the Kavod Shabbos Kodesh. One day until Shabbos, we're kneading the challah, we're toiling with the challah. For 1 second, if we take our hands off of it, off of the kneading, it blows up. That is chametz. That is mamash chametz, and that is the importance of always toiling, always being osik in this inyan of matzah anava, guarding the matzah. Kach gam ha'adam sarich le'argish shehu taloy kol hazman me'Hashem Yisbarach. So a person has to feel that we're always dependent on Hashem Yisbarach. Like we said in the tefillah, that we're throwing our whole selves onto Hashem. Right? That's getting rid of all the yeshus. Right? We should remind ourselves of that many times throughout the day. Ribbon Shalom, I threw myself onto you at the beginning of the day, and I'm throwing myself onto you now. It's important Torah from Rav Nachman. The im rak yargish chashivu la'atzmo zeh kfar chametz v'gaiva v'avodah zara. This is huge. If he only if he feels importance to himself, if he feels like he deserves a name, it deserves recognition. We are already on the side of chametz and matzah in avodah zara, says Rav Vitchemeyer. And we end off with the kol hamilchama hi halanakuda shel hamashu hazeh. Mamash, something so small. That is the battle. We were talking something so small, and I won't remember the Torah in here, but something somewhere in Biyam Darkecha, Max pointing this out, that the mem in matzah, in the chaf, in the chet in chametz, the difference, right? The mem, if you look at the mem, there's this small opening, right? It's mamash so small, and in the chet, it has a wide opening, right? So gaiva wide, matzah small. We have to make ourselves small, right? It also goes on later in the mamarim that we were fit to receive the Torah because we were small. Ha'im ani margish et atzmi kemetziut v'ani osek ba'atzmi o she'ani nichna uvatel lifnei habori. So we have to ask ourselves a question: are we surrendering ourselves to Ribbon Shalom? Are we viewing ourselves as a kli, as a tzinor, as a kinor, or we feel like we have mitzios, if we have yeshus, or we really are something beyond, outside of the realm of the Ribbon Shalom? Zrat Hashem, we should ask ourselves these questions, and we should all know our name as well. It's very important to know our name, to know where we came from, to know where we are, and to know where we want to be. Zrat Hashem, Chavra, every single day, let's just add on or just can be consistent with just being great, consistent with just being great according to our madrigos, B'ezrat Hashem, fired up.